I'm unfortunately civilized. I can only empathize with anyone more universally despised. I sympathize for those who died in war over fossil fuels. I emphasize I'm an opposition of rules. I'm an autistic, empathic genius. Believe this at my behest. I'm the best and I protest. I seek to coexist and not defeat the purpose of being altruistic, autistic, cryptical, and apolitical. I survived an ephemeral peril that was quite terrible. This is a Kedriginal. I'm literal and also subliminal. I'm confident, competent, and opulent. I'm influential with pens and pencils. I am not a Pez dispenser. I cure pestilential disease with medicinal weed. I'm enduring pleasure, and I believe, therefore I am. I oppose the notion of a war in Iran. I'm a noble savage and a stoner who has also dropped acid and been a shroom taker, not a sporadic moonraker. I'm more than just another broom shaker. I'm not usually a king's maker. I should be a hex breaker, labeled a hellraiser. I'm a deadheady raver. I identify with legendary heroism and egalitarianism. I support brave cave women. I don't extort or exploit or target civilians. I'm a reader of writings and drawings by Bob Dylan. Embrace this. Shapeshift into a makeshift spaceship, traveling, rambling on to the Amazon's pantheon, where the amiable feral animals and egalitarian heroines are jamming on Grateful Dead songs, recording electronic voice phenomenon. Slanta, or Roche de Vaha Walia. Ismalam Rania. How is Miguelga? Hierophant archetype defeats transhuman prototype. Civilizations are overhyped. Peace isn't overpriced. I'm edentate, not edentulate. My regenerated eidetic memory emulates and illuminates to elucidate and articulate my points. Most emigrate, so don't segregate. Don't perpetuate the hate. Rebel against the state. I'll pay homages to a prophetess who walks with the goddess. What she has foreseen is so good for me I transcend. I'm getting into aesthetic philosophy again. The words flow almost certainly endlessly from my pen and into my great journal. My verbal skills are thorough enough to not be disputed. I continue where I was before I was interrupted and intrepid. I'm an atypical and apolitical anarchist and a resistor with an ecological focus. I could go for some doses. Ecological resistance, sabotage at the factories and farms without any casualties caused. I'm an anti-authoritarian and pro-egalitarian. I'm like the metal band Peregrine. I'm like the post-left anarchists, and I'm so lower tech that I painted grotesque art on the walls of caves with berries, like the Paleolithic, like Terrapin Station, like the Grateful Dead, because I paid my debt in full. Peace is plentiful. I would rather share the empathy than gather sympathy. Serenity! Blessed be. Lucina the lucid dreamer, Lucina the lucid dreamer, Lucina the lucid dreamer, cleaner than meteor showers. I devour doses on my tongue, smoke some deemsters from my lungs. Open wide for your sorcerer's mind to describe the fool who took the leap of faith to almost die, yet somehow still survived. Lucina the lucid dreamer is even greener than the hemp I wear, with my Celtic descent. I don't merely pretend to care about yoga or iboga. Horses go wild for Epona. All the wild horses go wild for Epona when I wrote this song. I'll smoke some Salvia divinorum in a bong. Norse goddess Freya as fertile as cannabis buds, purpler than Ursula. Greener than the ecology and anarchy because primitivism is like a trip to me. I can use some ecstasy and LSD to candy flip for peace, love, unity, respect. Under the sea with plur maids. And there's a schism in evidentialism. We're wearing camouflage, ecological resistance, sabotage the factories and farms without any casualties caused. Resistance! And I'm incapable of holding a grudge, even against a probate judge who hates everyone. With my collective, expressive, selective, inventive, reflective, perspective, decisive, balance, precisely. I'm primal resistance. This be coexistence in continuance of anarcho-primitivism, a prediction of dereliction and liberation by deviation to comfortably numb, humdrum, and it's all harum skarum at the battle drums. I have now succumbed to the harum skarum anthem. I pay homage at Squelga, or Roche de Vaha, Walia, Slanta, Morgana from Tia Nog. I call for sabotage at the brutal factories and farms without any casualties caused. I'm not following laws. Dystopia shall debacle and be toppled in an ominous manner by amiable characters with psychedelic manuscripts, by abstract hypnotherapists. Yes, I smoke a lot of medicinal cannabis. My collective, perceptive, expressive, selective, reflective, inventive perspective that emoliates and emphatically sublimates. I'm syncretic with wicked magic that's sympathetic. I'm empathic to inhabitants of what dystopian science fiction novelists warned us about. I'm primitive. I'm the equivalent of consistent, abolishing, demolishing, twist and shout. Camouflage, resistance to all liars' laws enforced by cyborgs with super abilities unlike my own. When I smoke weed and write beat poetry, I'm known to be debunking erroneous drivel irrelevant to my poems. At the behest of the rest of us left, I dismantle civilizations whose bionic minions are armed to kill members of our resistance. This basket full of a sachet, stashed it at Scarsborough Fair. Be mindful and be primal with survival skills, practice and be well. Care about nature and defend her from invaders. Be liberators, invigorators. Special Kedrick the head trip, my collective, perceptive, expressive, selective, reflective, inventive perspective emoliates and emphatically sublimates. I'm ecstatic because I'm syncretic with Wiccan magic that's sympathetic. I'm empathic to the inhabitants of what dystopian science fiction novelists warned us about. The time to resist is now. The populace shall twist and shout. We all coexist now, despite government and not because of it. I'm an aesthetic philosopher and a Celtic and Nordic and Norse pagan descendant. I wear hempen necklaces. And bracelets. My ancestors defended themselves from hatred. Robotic monstrous officers plunder and pillage. Bionic minions are equipped with fully automatic assault rifles and other arms to cause so much tragic plight and harm. When liars' laws are enforced by cyborgs, our ability to coexist peaceably is more recently and cohesively thought to be treason, so we ought to be heathens. This is the holiday season. I'm like a chieftain. Peace, love, unity, respect. Peace, love, unity, respect. Peace, love, unity, respect. The universe sends it to me. I believe in freedom, so mote it be. By the power of 3 times 3, with harm to none, so mote it be. By the power of 3 times 3, I do both whatever I can, and as I so please. Universe, I call to thee, send me peace, love, unity, respect. Universe, I call to thee, send me peace, love, empathy. By the power of 3 times 3, so mote it be. I'm an erudite Luddite. Yet also a suburbanite. I'll smoke a lot of herb tonight. Divine enlightenment is my entitlement. I'm as primal as it gets. Society allows no solaces for autists. Morons turned on the TV and saw Adam Lanza and thought that's what autism is. Plenty of philosophers are pantheists, shamans, and animists. I'm an anarchist. I'm Special Kedrick the head trip. I'm so grateful to survive ephemeral peril that I aspire to be feral. The primordial sound resonates with me when I envision and emulate victory. Escape the enclaves of civilizations back to the beautiful nature and liberator. Flee the cubicles. Send polluters to the funerals. My genius isn't refutable. I'll soon go on a sabbatical where beauty is natural. I'm very countercultural, somewhat horticultural, yet still a forager. A gatherer, a scavenger. I'm an aesthetic philosopher, a nomadic and Celtic and Nordic polytheist mystic who supports intrinsic beauty. I'm all about euphoric herbs, so my comrades go foraging for shrooms with me. I'm a primitive, fragilistic hippie, raggle-taggle gypsy, bohemian. I'm opposed to dystopian regimes and transhumanism. I'm all for Buddhism. 'Tis the season to be a heathen. Ismalam Rania, Ismalam cool. Ismalam Rania, Ismalam cool. Oro Shade Vaha Walia, Slanta. My pronunciation is atrocious, a squelga. I could go for some doses. Special Kedrick the head trip. Grateful ketamine green.